Good evening. We are live at the iconic Governor's Comedy Club on the iconic Hempstead Turnpike in Levittown, New York. I am Tom Galati. I have Brett Fumara sitting next to me, my co-host. Hello,
Good
Brett.
evening. Hello, Tom.
How you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have an exciting guest tonight, Mr. Rich. Well, I guess to be determined.
Everyone else was busy. Rich Rade is here.
We wanted a funny guy who could come in here and have a good time. He was busy, so we got Rich.
That's right.
Rich Rada, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, Rich?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. So actually, it's funny. Reached out to Rich, asked him to join us. He said, "Tom, I'm not a car guru. I'm not a car guy."
My dad was.
Well, I think you were burying the lead. We come in here, and he sees a picture of a Mustang and says, "Oh, that's funny. I had 5 Mustangs."
Six.
So,
And before we went live, he was up to number 5 on that story.
I think you just bought another one since we started. So we have a fun show tonight. We're going to run through. I see some people are starting to log on, so we're going to start sharing this out and saying hello. We're going to play a new game tonight. We're going to play Match Game with Rich and Brett, and if anyone wants to call in, we're going to open up the phone line shortly, so you can have an opportunity to play for a very special prize, Brett. What's the special prize?
Well, of course, it's a personal touch car wash. Just one wash.
One free wash.
One free wash.
And dry.
And dry, too. Yes,
dry
we'll
it.
dry it for you, too.
A wash and dry.
They drive around really fast. Give it back.
And if you're all very good, by the end of the show, we might give away a few more passes for not having to do anything, but just
listen.
watching,
Right.
whatever you want to do.
And we
Just
can see-
being you.
Just being your glorious self.
And obviously someone from Rich's fan club is logging on. Kevin Epstein.
Oh, hey, Kevin Epstein. Well, he's a grozinator, isn't he? More, but yes, he's been hanging with me and Bosie on Thursdays also.
So how many shows have you been on, including this one
I
this
am
week?
pretty much
You have-
a Govs Radio whore this week.
You are?
Oh my God. Well, usually I'm a Thursday guy. I'm usually Thursday mornings with Sally and Tony.
Right. You
And
have-
then Jeff Bosie and I do our No Rhyme, No Reason on Thursday evenings. That's it. And that's my whole deal. But
And were you on any other shows?
I can't track them anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I think I watched them.
I was going to ask Jeff to come on, but I wasn't sure he'd keep his shirt on. So I feel
Yeah,
like,
smart
at
call.
least with you, he could
Good
probably,
call.
right?
Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
But actually, it's really cool. How much money did you raise? Was it Island Harvest?
We did for Island Harvest Food Bank. We raised, and who knew getting a bobblehead of Jeff Bosie would generate such, a crazed response from
Right.
But actually, and it's funny, I actually went to the post office yesterday and bubble wrapped and shipped out the bobblehead, which is now in transit to Florida.
Who? Was
Greg
it?
DiFilippo.
DiFilippo.
won. And, yeah,
That's awesome. That's great.
So we went actually the day after. Another great listener wound up donating a few bucks, so we wound up at $1,250.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's really, really
and
cool.
we gave out a Bosie bobblehead, a T-shirt, tickets to see Tony Walker. Ruin comedy for the third time, and I forget what else. Oh, and autographed trading cards of me, Bosie, and Carla Okerson, which basically is the equivalent of a really shitty coaster.
That's really cool, though. It's nice that you had fun with that, and the bobblehead said "World's Okayest Comedian."
Yes,
right?
and the T-shirt said "I'm friends with the world's
World's
okayest
okayest
comedian."
comedian, yeah. You guys have a great show, and it's fun watching you guys.
We do,
so.
and sometimes tasteful nudes from Jeff Bosie.
Now I'm going to start watching. This is great.
Don't do it. Yeah.
I think since that last show, Jeff has a fans only page now. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right?
And Sally has gone back to the eye care place and said, "Make these worse."
That's real. So how far do you? So you and Jeff have your show.
Yep.
Jeff is a very popular guy here, also at Govs Radio.
He's popular on Long Island. He's like I always say, kidding around. If you're in comedy or anything, he's your best friend. He promotes everyone's podcasts, everyone's open mics, everyone's shows, radio show, you name it.
Yeah.
He does it. He's a good egg. He's
The very first open mic that I did at Crabtree's in Huntington, New York, just a little over a year ago. He's the one who turned me on to Govs Radio, and so he went up that night. He came straight from work, so he had a shirt that said Jeff on it, so that everyone knew his name.
He
Part of
wears
the
that
act.
anyway.
And
It's good you thought he had a job. Nice.
so he told me, I said, this is my first. I said, hey, you doing, Jeff? We knew someone there. A buddy of mine had done some open mics before. He introduced me to Jeff. Jeff said, oh, this is your first time? I wonder how many times Jeff has heard that. Please tell me this is your first time. So he says, you know what? Subscribe to this. I have a Facebook page. It'll help you keep track of some of the open mics. And you should check out Gov's Radio. There's a lot of cool, he told me Knock 'em Dead talks about a lot of the open nights and open mics and stuff like that. So grateful that I met Jeff. And
Yeah, he's the guy to know.
he's a good guy.
I tell him he's a comedian's best friend.
Yeah,
on
definitely.
Long Island. Everyone should be nice to Bosie.
Yeah. So I'm going to share out the show on my phone right now. Do you want to do the live read for Personal Touch?
Of course.
All right, you do that while I share out a little bit.
There, of course, we thank Personal Touch Car Wash for sponsoring the show here. If you want a free car wash, we'll be playing the game in just a little match game, and we'll also be giving away a few extra passes at the end of the show. We'll tell you how to do that then, but they do have 2 locations: East Northport, 1977 East Jericho Turnpike, and in Bohemia, 1261 Lakeland Avenue. They have unlimited washes starting at $23.95 a month, and with all the pollen and the bird shit and everything else that's on our cars. Now is the time to get that unlimited pass. They also do full service details and Personal Touch Car Wash, Tom. As we know, a dirty car
Is a dirty shame.
That's right. And you can visit them at elwoodcarwash.com.
All right, good. And so we're going to have some of those passes, so get your phones handy, because the first 5 people to text something to something
Right.
are going to get a free
At some
free
point
car
in this
wash.
show
Very
today.
cryptic. Very cryptic.
Yes. So, all right, I'm just finishing sharing out right now.
Come on. Let's go.
Let's see here.
Hit share. Go.
Mom and Dad, please
Let them know.
watch my show.
How are they doing?
They're doing well.
Great.
Yes, they're doing
Are
well.
they
So,
watching now?
They should be. I
Mr.
told
and Mrs.
them-
G, hello.
Yes. Hello, Mom and Dad. Hello to my sister, Christine.
Hi.
I saw
Is
that
her
she
boyfriend
was
going to call in
watching
today? Is that her
before.
boyfriend? Who called in
No,
a couple
that
weeks
was
ago?
her
Is that her friend?
fiance.
Okay, friend's fiance.
Friend's fiance.
All right.
I think she's
Is
going
he
there.
Doesn't
for-
mean it's not her boyfriend.
Oh,
just-
okay.
it would just be awkward.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Her friend's fiance, who's also her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Is he going to call in today? 'Cause
So-
he was fun.
Sally, can you put up the phone number if it's not up there? It's down in the bottom left, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. 516. Is it 6848?
516-465-3990.
Okay, so if you'd like to call in and play match game against Rich and Brett, you have the opportunity to win a free car wash. So phone lines are open. Christine, if
Now,
you're watching.
if we beat them, they have to wash our car. Is that how this
That's
works?
it,
Exactly.
right.
Yes.
Exactly. So,
Sounds like a win-win.
But at least he'll have a job at Personal Touch Car Wash, so that's the benefit.
You have to leave your clothes on, though, Rich, when you
Forget it.
take a look.
What's the point?
So, actually, it's funny. Matt Murillo, a buddy of mine, Matt, who actually, he's the one who dared me to do it that night at Crabtrees. So, Matt and I go back to high school.
Is Matt still doing stand-up?
Yes.
I mean, well, obviously,
Yeah.
not many are these
So
days,
he's-
at least live. But pre-COVID, was he doing?
Yes. So, I'm just going to text him back. What was the number again?
516-465-3990.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who asked you repeatedly for that phone number. I think we should put something on the wall there. I ask her every show. What's the number? She's like, it's on the screen.
I turn into Madge on The Simpsons.
For the blind people, it's the Braille numbers.
So, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, I know, Brett, you have some funny car stories.
Sure, I found a couple of things.
And
Well, funny to us
Well-
because we're not renting cars at this moment. Oh wait, somebody on the phone?
yeah.
And who is
Boy,
that?
look at that.
Is that your friend Matt?
Let's see.
Or our friend Matt? I mean, I haven't seen Matt in years, but obviously I'm well aware of him.
Welcome to Cars and Comedy.
Who's on the line?
Hey, how you doing? It's Matt Murillo.
Matt Murillo. How are you, buddy?
So weird. We're just talking about you, and
That's
here you are
so
calling.
weird.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm just sick with the COVID.
He's got
Oh.
the COVID.
Are you really?
Yes.
That's so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. No, nothing. I got very lucky. I caught it apparently after my first dose of the vaccine, so I got the weapons, and my case is very
You're
mild.
kidding.
Nice. Well,
Good
that's
for
good. Which shot did you get?
I got the Pfizer.
Okay.
All right. I just got my first shot the other day, too. It was a Pfizer. Yep. Knock on wood.
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. They did give Pfizer Jack
was his second
Daniels.
shot.
And you choose Pfizer Jameson, or you can do Pfizer Fireball. So that your choice. So that's going to be fun.
It sounds like you made out better off than Brett's dad last show. Right?
Yes.
He went to go get a shot and he got hit by a car.
In the parking lot.
Jesus.
In the parking lot.
Jesus.
Yes.
So that's why I said, you know what? Don't get the shot. It's too dangerous.
As he's walking to the building, a car,
Suburban.
a Suburban, Chevy Suburban, backed into him.
The biggest
He
truck on the
separated
road.
his the biggest one you could
rushed it off, right? It had to be a Suburban.
Separated his shoulder. They popped it back in. He does have a little cracked
Jeez.
bone in the shoulder. He's going to be in a sling for now about another month or so. He's thankfully
God.
slowly but surely getting back to normal. And he did eventually get shot number 1 about a week ago. So thankfully, how about that?
So
you got to protect yourself.
it
And
could-
you get hit by a car.
Could be worse.
You never know.
Yeah, so actually that's, I think, one of our new sponsors, Sybin and Sybin.
Yes,
That's
that's
the
right.
other Susan.
I thought Ace Bandage. That was the, yeah.
Well, it's funny. Adam Carolla says that he has a podcast that I enjoy listening to, and he always says that usually commercials on TV are a sign of the times, right? And he said when he was a kid, he thought that all the commercials were about getting you back to work. It was like, you could drive a tractor trailer, learn how to drive.
Get a set of tools, right? Go
Right,
ahead.
exactly. Apex Tech, right? And then he used to say, and now we can't call you.
Right.
You have to make the
That's
first step,
right.
right? So he said all the commercials were about getting your ass, working and do some work. He says now it's all, have you inhaled asbestos? Have you or anyone you've known ever?
Is your boner crooked? all the important stuff.
So, he basically says like now it's like you just sit on the couch and get fatter, and we're going to get you the money that you deserve. So, So if you're a personal injury attorney and you'd like to help Mr. Fumara and you'd like to
Thank
be a
you very much.
sponsor of the show,
We're waiting. We're waiting. We can't
call
call you.
516.
Call us.
Rich, what's that number?
It's 516 something something something
Four six-
something something.
Let me see. 465 3990.
3990.
Got it. So Matt Murillo,
Yo,
do you want to play match game with us?
I can play match game. I'll give it a shot. I'm sure I'm not going to be so good. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't be good. And then right now under COVID, napping in and out and all that, I don't know how. You're lucky I didn't call you Papa Murph.
The old COVID ruined my game show skills. Excuse. I've heard that a million times.
But if
Have
you
your
like
game
Tom
show
Thomas,
skills been diminished by COVID?
Car wash with Mike Farrell's car.
You could have a case.
You have a case. Call now.
Were you broadsided by a Chevy Suburban on your way to get the shot? Call now. So, so for those of you who live under a rock and have never seen Match Game, I will read out a sentence. I'll intentionally put in a blank. And if you match Rich or Brett, you could win a car wash. How's that sound, Brett? How's that sound, Matt?
That sounds great.
I'm sure Mike Farrell will be thrilled.
So are you staying with Mike right now?
No, but I am borrowing his car.
Okay, good. So you could get Mike Farrell's car wash. All right, that's great. All right, so here we go. Here's the first one. Francesco said, and I guess I have to do this like Gene Rayburn,
Sure.
like dumb Dora is so dumb.
Or Alec Baldwin.
How dumb is she?
All right, so we got that. I do have a dumb Dora, so I'll read that one Gene Rayburn style.
Okay.
Francesco said, I knew Sophia was the girl for me the moment I smelled her.
Mm-hmm.
She was wearing that perfume that smelled just like blank.
One more time, Tom.
Francesco said,
June? Excuse me.
I knew Sophia was the girl for me the moment I smelled her. She was wearing that perfume that smelled just like blank. So
And who are we matching? We're matching with your answers.
no.
We have to match answers.
He has to match us.
Matt has to match you guys.
Right. That's how it goes.
All right.
Okay.
But I mean, these rules are totally flexible.
Of course. We'll adjust as we go, question by question.
He's getting a car wash.
Smells
That bird poop's coming off. Don't you worry
Either
about
way.
it. That's right.
Don't you worry.
Matt, I don't know if you're watching the news feed while Rich and Brett write down their answers, but Chris Connolly is logging on, and he doesn't want you to talk about Ralph Macchio's hair.
Well, he's just gonna have to deal with it.
All right. By the way, please don't say anything to upset him, because Brett and I are trying to get him on the show.
Okay.
By trying, I mean
him.
I sent a tweet and copied him in the tweet, so that's as far as we've gone so far.
It got a lot
I
of
guess
likes.
Obviously, we're working really
I
hard.
have a problem with Ralph Macchio's hair.
So what is your problem with Ralph Macchio's hair, by the way?
Have you seen it?
All right. Okay, so here we go. Francesco said, I can't complain about anyone's hair. Francesco
here.
said, I knew Sophia was the girl for me the moment I smelled her. She was wearing that perfume that smelled just like...
I mean, I went comedic because.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yes.
Matt,
Yo,
you have to give your answer first. I'm sorry.
I have to give my answer first.
Yes.
Okay, right now.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna
Or
say
whenever
Rose.
you get a chance. The show ends in about 40 minutes, so
What do you want?
just
up to you.
take your time and hurry.
Operators are standing by.
Just take your time and hurry up.
We know you're not feeling well.
Okay, I said roses.
Roses. Okay. Interesting because he's Italian. Mm-hmm. Okay. Salami, prosciutto, any of those might be meatball. All right.
I was going to say flowers, but I went more comedic. I said cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. Okay. So Francesco the
I
Italian.
mean, me and Brett were closer to each other. I mean, my original answer was a threesome.
Okay.
But I changed it to bacon.
Okay.
Bacon. Okay.
Now we know where Matt's
We
headed.
don't have a match.
Matt is going a little. Are you going to stay straight ahead for the rest of the game?
Are you good?
Trying to figure it out here. What are we going to do?
Oh, I didn't know. I can try something different.
Okay. Whatever you're feeling. I want you to feel healthy. That's first of all.
Okay.
Next-
So next
question.
question. Dumb Dora is so dumb.
How dumb is she?
Thank you, Sal.
Right on cue, too.
She's the only girl in kindergarten with blank. Dumb Dora is so dumb. She's the only girl in kindergarten with blank. So the good news is I don't think my kids are watching tonight. So my boys are 7, my daughter is 11. So you can answer honestly, Rich. See, you got that look in your eye based upon your first
I
answer.
was trying to be nice. I mean, I'm trying to get the guy a car wash.
Right. Of course.
But it is funny though. I was watching some former Match Game episodes on YouTube, and I was watching with my kids, and like they were just yelling out answers that they thought would be funny. And I guess I can give that after you guys give your answers. So they're feverishly writing their answers.
I'm going to be
Answer.
clean. I'm going to be clean on this.
You guys know this is live, right? So
What's live?
the show?
What show?
All right, Matt. Do you have an answer before you give it? Do you have one answer?
I don't have it. So dumb, man. I don't know.
She's
That
the-
one stumped me.
All right. Well, I'm
Then
gonna
it's
read
easily
it.
matched. I
I'm
had the
gonna
same
read it.
answer. I had no idea either. All right, so we matched.
All
Okay,
right,
so that's one
perfect.
right.
All right,
Right? What'd you get?
You're on your way, Matt. All right, so Dumb Dora is so dumb. She's the only girl in kindergarten with. I'm going to go to Rich first.
A driver's
A
license.
driver's license. That was actually one of the first things that came to my head. She's the only girl in kindergarten with a driver's license.
I had high school diploma.
High school
Didn't
diploma.
Didn't make sense.
All right, well that's fine. Why was she in kindergarten?
I don't know.
It's not important.
That's how dumb she was.
All that matters
She
is
went
if-
back. She had the high school diploma, and she went back to.
the only
kindergarten
thing that
for no
matters is
reason.
if he matched them.
That's it. All right. What was your answer, Matt?
he had nothing.
I know I had nothing. Remember?
You can't even.
don't
I believe
even
he
get
said
the-
high school
so
diploma.
dumb she had
He
a
said high school
driver's
diploma.
He was going to say a rack.
license.
He had high school diploma and driver's license. He had both.
Yay, Matt.
That was so crazy. Ding, you got it.
Underwire brassiere.
If Tony was here, he would say boobies.
I don't know.
All right. Crickets. Can we do applause? Congratulations.
I've never heard those before.
Crickets or applause.
Oh, I've heard crickets.
That was hands clapping for things people were happy for.
You didn't hear him say this is his third show this week. You don't think he's heard some crickets? All right. One Russian astronaut said to the other, "See, I told you the Americans have already been to the moon. They opened a blank." You got that, Matt?
I did. I got that.
One Russian astronaut said to the other, "See, I told you the Americans have already been here to the moon. They've already opened a blank." Bounce chicken in it, bounce chicken in it, bounce chicken in it, bounce chicken in it. All right, I see Brett's answer is locked in. Mr. Rich Rada is finished. So, Matt, we'll go to you.
All right.
One Russian astronaut said to the other, "See, the Americans have already been to the moon. They've already opened a what?"
Starbucks.
Starbucks. That was the second one I was thinking of. Let's see what Brett said. Brett, you
I
said what?
said McDonald's.
Brett said McDonald's. So actually,
Yeah,
I
I
was
was going to
thinking
say that. I thought that was too obvious.
I was thinking Starbucks or McDonald's.
I was
I
trying to
went,
get your car
even
wash.
more low budget. I went Sonic.
I did have the mesquite bacon butter burger the other day, and it was great.
But I don't go to Sonic because I don't eat health food. So,
But I do love Sonic's Ice. Do you like Sonic's Ice? Do you know what?
do they have a different recipe for ice
They
than other
absolutely
people
do.
have?
They absolutely do. They have the ice pellets.
Oh,
The little ice pellets, and like in my cherry limeade. And by the way, Sonic not a sponsor, but if you want to be, that's great. But and you have the cherry limeade, and when you for whatever reason the ice it just hits different
that
instead
right?
of those cubes. Try it out. You'll
I
try
like
it
the
out.
commercials. I do like the Sonic commercials.
They're very good, and the pellets for whatever reason are great, and so much so that I looked it up. They sell bags of ice.
You're
Sonic
kidding.
sells bags of
Wow.
their ice.
That's
So
genius.
you can go to the Sonic and get a 10-pound bag of
Of
their little
pellets.
pellets.
Of the pellets.
Of the pellets.
Interesting.
Try it out and tell me I'm wrong.
All right. So I have two more. I think we're gonna play with. We're gonna finish with someone else, Matt. We are gonna give you a pass to get Mike Farrell's car wash, even though he's a Ranger fan. I don't know if we should.
well, they lost today, so throw them
Yeah,
a bone.
they lost to the
Okay.
Flyers, right?
Yeah.
Did
2-1.
they lose today? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
All right. So Matt, congratulations! You won a car wash for Mike Farrell's
And
car.
feel better, man.
Yeah, please.
Excellent.
Yeah. Actually, my dad just should have said Trump Hotel.
Oof.
That's
Which
good.
is now probably a Halloween store.
Yeah. That's actually, I saw that on the side of that tanker that's in the Suez Canal. They've turned it into a
Halloween
house.
side. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, and there was another funny thing with it parked across, and I'm trying to remember what it was right now. Maybe it'll come to me. But the Halloween store that was
That's great.
But by the way,
Yes.
they said that that's costing $400 million an hour.
An hour.
An hour. I thought a day, and I'd say, all right, well, that's a lot. They said an hour that it's blocking the Suez Canal in trade
Wow.
dollars and what it's. Isn't that incredible?
That's crazy.
I can't picture that at
All right.
all.
So I just saw my cousin Matt Galati. What's up, Matt? How are you? Matt's watching. Can we go? Do we still have someone on hold? Mm-hmm. All right. Let's pick that up if we can, Sally. All right. Is this Tommy?
No, not Tommy.
Who is this?
Who is this? This is Tommy. Yeah, it's Tommy. I'm with your sister right now. You called me out on that.
Yeah, my man.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have Tommy calling in with my sister. And so
Yeah, you called me out, so I didn't know what you wanted to do. So I called in, making sure you wanted to call me out on something else.
No. Do you want to take two questions of match game? Were you listening along?
Sure, whatever you want to do.
All right.
This
Is,
should be
is
good.
your car dirty, by the way?
No, my car is clean. I own a
All right.
body shop. My
All right.
car is always clean.
All right, let's take someone else then. Is there anyone else? All right.
I don't need a car
What a
wash. I don't
shitty
need a
car,
car
please
wash.
call on the other one. Hold on, I'm going to go call from the other phone because my car is
Yeah, Rich, can you go check outside? I think someone's here.
Oh, good.
Hi, my car's dirty. All right. So if you've watched,
Christine's like, oh, Tom called you out. I'm like, oh, I got to call in now. I called in.
all right. What are you guys having for dinner tonight, by the way?
I think we're gonna make we're making a fettuccine with a little bit of with peas and some sausage.
Okay.
Sounds good. Is Christine making?
Yeah.
So my daughter was selling the cookie dough for a fundraiser. Did Christine bring over cookie dough? Is she making cookies?
Oh yeah,
over there?
we bought all those cookies. You know like that. I ate them all.
All right,
Okay.
so we're all set.
Look, we don't know. We're
All right, so here we are. We have 2 questions, and then we have a bonus round for
Ooh.
match.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. Let's
All
see.
right. So here's
Holy-
They do the
What am I
they
gonna
do
win,
an
a
interior
car wash or
vacuum
no?
for the bonus round. Is that what you get?
you could win a car wash, but I don't know, you might have to give it to Christine. Unless
I'll give it to Christina or whoever else. I mean, my wife doesn't need it, so let's go.
all right. So here we go. Here's the next question. My husband is so out of touch. Just yesterday, he realized blank was over. My husband
is
so out of touch. Just yesterday, he realized blank was over.
Blank was over.
Yep.
That's a strange
It
question.
could be, actually, that was one of the ones that I watched today earlier on Match Game to try and pull this one out.
Really?
And it's actually, at the time, their answer was World War II. So I'll just tell you. And so that
World War
was in
II,
1977.
really?
In 1977, Betty White and Richard Dawson and a few others, their answer was World War II. So fast
Really?
forward to 2021. Nice. All right. So here we go. I'm going to ask you for your answer in 1 second, Tommy.
Okay.
My
go ahead.
husband is so out of touch. Just yesterday, he realized blank was over. What's your answer?
Blank was over. I really don't have marital problems, so I don't know. Well, what's
Show ends in
over?
33
I don't know.
minutes.
I don't understand. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. I don't need a car wash.
lot of
But I just
people
wanted to
like
call in.
There-
You called me out, so I called in. So,
All right.
so good.
Play for fun. What do you got? What an answer.
Anything.
Tom, read the question one more time for him.
My husband is so out of touch. Just yesterday, he realized blank was over. You want to ask Christine or Lori or anyone? You
Yeah,
wanna
I'll
phone
ask
a
Christine
friend?
Lori. What was over, babe? What was over?
Now, when you
What
say
was
babe,
over?
you mean Christine or your wife?
We still haven't gotten to the bottom of this.
No, the pandemic is over.
Pandemic
The
is
pandemic
over.
is over.
That's a good answer.
Okay. Brett, what is your answer?
I didn't say that. I said Christmas.
Christmas is over.
Oh, Christmas is over. Oh.
Okay, that's
you went more recent
Well,
than
I
me.
did.
Your
I went more
sister
recent
said
history.
Christmas.
Could've-
I went
That's what I
the
went with.
Crusades.
You went a little further
I went a
back
little
than
further
December
back. A little
25th.
bit.
Well, I was going to keep it simple and go
Just by a
with
few
the
months.
wedding reception was over, but I figured you might know that was happening.
Good answers. All right.
All right.
So
Thanks, Tom. I'll talk to you later. All right.
Wait,
Have a good one.
I thought you said. Oh,
no, we can play. We'll see if Sally. Take care, Tommy.
the sausage was burning.
Yes, or the peas.
I think it was the peas.
Or the
Why would you
Alfredo.
ruin good sausage with peas?
My grandmother used to make peas with macaroni. with
Yeah,
some garlic
I know,
and
it's an
oil and-
Italian
so
thing,
good.
right?
No,
It's
I don't
like,
mind
yeah.
peas.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is the best. These are the best meatballs. Is there those peas in there?
Oh, and the meatballs. No.
Am I in trouble? Did
What did we do to deserve this?
they
right.
run out of meat?
So let's jump to the bonus round for a minute
Okay.
because I think this might be fun for Sally. So Sally, I'm going to ask for your answer, and you're going to have to match either Brett or Rich,
Okie
and you
dokie.
get a free car wash from Personal Touch Car Wash. So here's the quick match. So I'm going to say blank and another word, and you're going to tell me what that blank word is. So it's blank detector. Blank detector.
Do I say it out loud now?
No,
Oh.
they haven't written it down yet.
All right,
They could
okay.
cheat.
They
We don't
could
want them
cheat.
cheating.
Let's see. Blank detector.
Let's see.
I want Sally.
Oh,
to
actually,
win.
so my dad's
I love
an-
just softball.
My dad's answer was honeymoon to the last
Honeymoon
yeah.
detector.
No,
Oh,
Yeah, which
He didn't realize
you never
the
know.
honeymoon was over.
I remember watching the show back in the day, and who's the guy? Charles Nelson Riley.
Charles
or
Nelson
whatever.
Riley, yeah.
And I'll never forget this. The final word was aluminum blank.
right.
And the guy, and it was the funniest thing. So he writes down his answer, and he's waiting, and the guy's the final answer, and the guy goes, okay, now aluminum, and the guy goes, I think I got it, and he goes, okay, what? And he goes, aluminum bedpan, and Charles Nelson Riley, whatever, doesn't even show his card. He threw it up in the air and
just walked off the set?
He's like, aluminum. It was either going to be
What are we
siding
doing
or
here?
foil, right?
Right.
The guy goes bedpan. What the hell is that?
That's awesome.
good Lord.
All right. So
Sally?
let's ask
Sally.
Sally.
I have
blank
two answers.
detector.
No, we
well,
I
need
know.
one.
I know you have two. I was.
I have two.
We need one. Go
all
with
right,
the best
well,
one.
if you match with Brett, he's going to wash your car.
Correct.
And I'm
if
going to
you-
watch.
Right. Cheer me on.
With his-
Hand me the
I'm
towel.
going to cheer him
Sorry.
on while I drink beers.
with his shirt
Nice
off.
job.
Jeff Bosey. Okay, Sally, blank detector. What's your answer?
I'm gonna go with smoke.
Smoke detector.
You're also going to go to personal touch car wash because I said smoke detector.
And the other one was radar.
radar.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
one.
I had
I-
lie
oh, yeah.
detector.
Lie detector.
Lie detector. See, I wouldn't do that.
Here's the applause
wow.
for Sally.
I was gonna go with radar because I figured it's a car show, but then
Yeah.
I just went for safety first.
Yep.
Right.
You got it.
I think
Always
if,
about
if we still
safety.
had Mike Murphy on from last week, I think radar detector would be the right answer if
Correct.
you're trying to match with it. So yeah, I was thinking either lie detector, smoke detector, metal detector.
Metal
Yep.
detector was my second
Right.
one.
Okay, so let's go
Bullshit
to
detector.
and actually, it's funny when I was looking up questions. One of them was blank your hands, right? So you could think clap, but I feel like right now, automatically everyone's
Wash.
wash your hands.
Right.
Right.
But like from 1977, it could have been clap your hands. It could have been wash your hands.
Sally
Now-
would have said, remove. she does hang with Walker, you know.
All right, so we have one more question that I'll use here, and then we'll move on to some news topics. So Harry, the sword swallower, right?
Okay.
We all know a sword swallower named Harry, right?
I mean,
And-
please.
It's not a euphemism, Rich. Harry, the sword swallower, said, "Gee, I have to get a shorter sword. I'm not even finished with this one yet, and it's already come out of my blank." Got that?
Poor Harry.
Yeah, it's got a tough job, Harry. Good thing. Hopefully, my kids aren't watching before we give these answers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go right down the middle.
It's going
Right,
right down the
you know.
middle.
Right down the middle of the body.
We can say hi to Casey McNeil while
Hi,
we're
Casey
waiting.
McNeil.
It's a great show, guys. Thank you, Casey.
Damn right. Thank you. I mean,
In case the kids are listening, I've cleaned my answer.
Thank you.
yeah. Do you want me to clean it?
Yeah, you see, you can
Clean
spell
it?
it this way.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna take it one step lower, one step cleaner. I got the
All
toilet
right.
paper. Got
I'll read it
all
one
that
more
stuff,
time. We'll
clean
get
it up.
Sally's answer. So, Harry the sword swallower said, "Gee, I have to get a shorter sword. I'm not even finished with this one yet, and it's already coming out of my."
Ass.
All right.
Do we match? Because I put arse.
Arse, yes.
And I had ass. Now that we've said it, I'm sorry, kids. And I cleaned it up to butt instead of
Right.
saying ass because
Right.
your kids are. We don't
Booty.
want them to hear ass.
If it was 1977, they
Right.
probably would have said
Yeah.
fanny.
Yes.
or
Right.
would have been believed. Would have been poop.
Out of the pooper.
I want to say woo. Yeah. That's what it would have been. They put a little sound effect in there. Congratulations.
Good segment. Thank you. So I actually have
Sally's stretch limo will be getting washed.
a live read for a new sponsor.
Thank you.
Yeah, new sponsor. Mission Epoxy. So I don't know.
What do they do?
I'm glad you asked, Brett. Mission Epoxy. I'm just pulling up their phone number right now because if I was smart,
Do you have a website?
I do have it.
That's probably the easiest.
missionepoxy.com. So
Okay.
here's what they do. You go to get your car
gonna do it right
serviced.
now.
You go to you go to the service shop, and the floor in the service shop really looks nice, right? It's got
Nice and shiny.
That
right?
beautiful cement glazed look to it with the
Exactly.
speckles.
So when you get you get something on the floor in any of those shops, which happens often, you spill something, motor oil, whatever, cleans right up.
Okay.
Not only does it look great, but it cleans right up. So Sally, I don't know if you could put the picture of the second red car, the one that's on the right on your screen. If you could put that up on the screen right now. Mission Epoxy does an amazing job, and there's some really cool examples of their work if you follow them on Facebook or you follow them on Instagram. Their phone number is 516-986-5100, and they do commercial work. They do residential work. So you have a nice one-car garage, but you want it to look nice, or you want to protect it. You want to showcase the cool ride that you have. If you see the picture that Sally just put up on the screen, I think you could see it behind me too. Is that right, Sally, or no? Just on
yeah,
the,
I can
on
do
the
that.
screen.
Sure.
You could see how cool the floor looks, and they do some custom designs too if you really want to go all out. This picture here actually has the Porsche logo on it, which looks really, really cool. But I
Is
love
that that looks like Bosie's house. Custom floor with the Porsche.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
right. I can
A T-shirt thrown to the side. Yeah.
So that's a sharp car. That's an awesome looking garage. And if you look at the floor, they do some simple designs, but that's actually one of the more dynamic
That is
designs that I
nice.
thought was really cool. I was asking them, is there a picture you want me to show? And they said, you know what, Tom, you pick a picture from Instagram that you like. And this was the one that immediately jumped out. I mean, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So call them for a free estimate. They do amazing work. You can see some great before and after pictures on Instagram. So that's Mission Epoxy, missionepoxy.com. And what's great too, owned and run by a veteran. So
Beautiful.
You're
Thank you for
supporting
your service.
You're supporting America. So
I'm going to get the Porsche logo next to and put my Honda next to it. Just to deter, have this little distraction. People go, wow.
Really throw people off.
that's
Yeah.
that's the power move, right?
That's it.
So that number one more time,
I wouldn't even want to put anything
516-986-5100,
on that
missionepoxy.com.
That's too nice.
Right?
I'd be in there sweeping that thing all day long.
Every day,
With
right?
a wet rag. What are you doing? Stop walking in the garage.
Didn't I tell you?
What the hell is wrong with you? Go in the living room and wreck that rug.
All right, so let's shift gears, Brett.
Okay.
So let's talk about you have some news stories that you wanted to
I saw
talk about.
a story that was slightly disturbing. If you're going on spring break, a lot of kids off, at least in this area, next week. And I saw if you're going down to Florida, like a lot of people do, even in these trying times that are hopefully getting better, $300 a day for rental cars in Orlando.
Wow.
Woo!
How about that? Now, why?
And that's not a Suburban that you could
No.
pick someone
This-
off in the parking
yeah,
lot.
take
going to
out
get
an
their
old guy,
shots.
yeah,
Right.
This one's
Don't
for a
get back
Kia
to me.
Rio.
So a Kia Rio,
$300
Come on.
a day.
$300.
Now, a lot of this is happening, especially in Florida, because last year when they couldn't rent any cars, they sold a lot of them off a lot of the places. So now that
Limited
things
supply.
now that things are coming back, there's limited supply is in place, and so 18 of Florida's 20 largest airports were totally out of cars. So now, if you want to rent a car next week, it could cost you $300.
You know how far
a
you can
day.
get? You could spend $2.99 a day on Uber and cover the entire state of Florida,
Right.
probably, and
And-
not have to worry about driving.
And be bombed the whole
Right?
time.
Yeah,
right?
because
'Cause they don't have to
well, I mean,
behind
I'm-
the wheel.
just because they're renting the car doesn't mean they're not bombed anyway. But
Where's Mickey? Show me Mickey.
yeah, put the ears on.
Go.
Wow, $300 a day.
Where last
Right.
spring, a year ago,
and then they have the balls to go. And do you want the insurance?
right,
Wait, that's no insurance.
and bring it back with a full tank
That's
too.
right. Yeah.
That's
Right.
$87.50 more.
So last year they were seeing about $5-10 a day because they're just trying to get people in there. Now, $300 a day if you want to go next week to Florida. So hopefully you either booked your
Going to
rental
be a
car
lot
already,
of, lot
or-
of dads and moms looking at that credit card bill going,
That's right.
What went on in Florida?
Right.
Man.
There's actually a funny story with my dad when we went down to rent. We were renting a car when we were going out to Disney one of the times when we were growing up, and my dad had gotten into an argument with the car that he had reserved versus the car that they had. I know Seinfeld did a whole, anyone could just take a reservation, but you actually have
right.
to hold
Right,
the
right.
reservation. And I remember at one point, I've only have a handful of these moments in my life where my father turned to my mom and said, take the kids outside for a minute while I finish this up.
It's about to get real.
One was when they were buying my mom's 1989 Buick LeSabre. I can tell that story another time. But
Are you even allowed to lose your temper in a Buick delership?
You were that
Isn't
day.
everyone in the
impossible.
Buick dealership on high risk alert or something?
you have to be 75 or older to
Yes,
buy a
right.
Buick, right? So this was an argument my father was having, and then they brought up the notion of insurance. And my father said, you better give me the insurance.
I'm trashing this
He
thing.
says no. He says when I come back, he said I'm driving it right through the front of the store.
Today he'd be arrested.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Just
A
for that,
Hicksville
just for
man,
threatening.
right? Exactly. It would definitely be in the news if that happened now.
That's
So-
how Dad lost his job at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Kids, go in the car and put on your Mickey ears, okay? Daddy's gonna finish signing the papers.
You know how they do the fire drill in school? I want you to get in that position in the car.
So my sister and I were sucking our thumbs in the fetal position out in the parking lot.
Daddy's going to jail.
All right. Any other stories, Brett?
Continue with yours. Is there more or no?
No, that was it.
I have a funny rental one for you, though.
Okay.
He didn't drive through the front of the store, by
Thank
the way.
goodness.
I had a car years ago, and I was driving in it was a severe storm, and on the expressway, bumper to bumper, and I got hit by lightning.
Really?
Yeah, and like the entire electrical system of the car just goes kaplooey, right? So
was
I
a
wound up,
direct
it like right off the front, the ground, boom, underneath, and
wow.
just
God.
And then next, the dashboard lit up as crazy. So the car was, it was relatively new. I go back to the dealer, and I will not. I'm like, I do insurance for a living, but not car insurance.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just going to say, I don't know what's going on. So my story was, I went in for bagel and coffee, and I came out, and this dashboard lit up like crazy,
Like a Christmas tree.
so they take the car in. They're like, "Oh my god, okay, right." So they go. I go, "Well, I need another vehicle, because I have to work." So they pull around. This was a Mustang that I had.
Right.
It was a convertible.
One of the
They
nine-
bring
one of the
me-
9 Mustangs
One of the
you've owned?
6. Yeah. So they bring out this other Mustang convertible. Same year. My car had a black top and it was like the torch red color. This was like I don't know what color the car was, but the top was that camel color. And they parked it. They must have parked it under a freaking tree where the birds ate berries, and they had a grudge and shit all over this thing. Right? Like from the top, it looked like a map of the Philippines, just like all over the thing. Right. So I'm like, I have appointments to go on. Like I can't, and it wasn't that nice out. So I couldn't have the top down.
Right.
So I'm like, you guys have to rent me a car. And they're like, well, this is the last one we have in the lot. I'm like, no kidding. It's the last one we have. So I remember for 4 days before they got another car, I had to drive the car around. I went to the car wash, went through twice. The
And
guy
still-
comes up to me and he goes, I'm going to give you your money back on the second one. He goes, this shit ain't coming off.
Wow.
Buried bird state. So I drove around for 4 days trying to go on I'd pull up to a guy's business going in to do planning and insurance. And the guy, I could tell they were looking right over me going,
Right.
what the fuck?
Right.
What's this guy driving?
Right. This
Right.
this guy can't even take
Right.
care of himself.
And then they call me up and they go, your car's almost ready and you don't have that car that long. I'm like, I would give it to you yesterday. I'm like,
Right.
let me get rid of it. It was the worst rental ever.
That's crazy.
So bad. Berry poop.
If only you knew about Personal Touch Car Wash back then.
That's right. They might have actually quit the business if they would have saw this car.
We're closing our doors.
Hurry, he's coming again. He's coming again.
There's no car wash.
He's got the birds with the IBS coming.
Yeah, I worked for Enterprise Rent a Car
right.
for about a year and a half when I was in college, and like we had a lot of funny stories where people would like rent a car and then like swap the rims because like with the Nissan Maxima, and it just came back with hubcaps and it had the nicer rims on.
That's a pair of balls right there.
There was a few times where like just cars got beat to shit. Like, and they always wanted us. Enterprise was, and I think all the car rental places now that they all sell their cars when they hit a certain point of mileage. And we used to get a spiff if we recommended someone. So like if someone was returning their car and you say, oh, how was everything? They'd be like, oh, that's a great car actually, that Cadillac or that Nissan Maxima, and say, we sell our cars. I don't know if you knew that or not. So we would get like $100 spiff if I referred someone and they actually bought one of the cars. So most people's answer would be like, yeah, no, I like the Maxima. I don't like that Maxima because it's been,
Abused.
driven by 387 people in the last 4 months.
Right.
So, but we used to say, we had a whole script that we had to learn, right? And it was the line used to be like, well, we take really good care of our cars and we service them regularly. And
Absolutely.
actually, and I used to say, I'm like, we get a notification when someone returns a car and it's due for an oil change. I can't even rent it until it gets, so.
Like, so I'm going to have to reset the button for the oil.
We actually, yeah. I'll leave it at that because I still have 1 or 2 friends that still work at Enterprise, and I'd like to
That's a
stay.
great
I'd
place
like to
to
stay
work
friends
and
with
a
a
great
great place to
company.
work. I love you all. Great company. I learned a lot though because actually the Enterprise rent-a-cars they allow you to like treat it like it's your own business. And I was a part-time employee there while I was in college, and they liked the fact that I took it seriously and I wasn't a typical 19-year-old kid. But you go out and market your local office to the local auto body shops. Please call me if something comes in. We were dropping off, coffee and donuts to
Yeah.
those guys. I loved, being able to drive different cars, to pick people up or drop people off. And I remember, though, we used to get so annoyed when someone called to, come pick them up. Because it was like, the ad says, pick
Yeah,
up us,
you'll
we'll
pick
pick
you
you
up,
up.
yeah, but-
And then people were like, oh, hi, can you come pick me up? I'm like, ah, shit, we got to
You lazy! Yeah. Who wrote this ad?
Then we would be like, hey, anyone want to go pick this person up? They're like 12 miles away. Conversely, we'd all fight to leave the audience.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
if
yeah.
the line was 12 people
Yeah.
deep, I'm like, all right, see you later. I'm going to
Yeah.
pick up
Anybody needs
Mrs.
picked up anyone?
They're like, someone follow Tom. No, I'll walk back. I'm fine.
I'm picking a customer. Oh, nobody called. We'll find someone.
I'll weave in some more enterprise stories along the way. But any other stories, Brett?
It's interesting because the mindset of certain people. A man was accused of backing a car into a storefront. He said he meant to hit the weed shop next door to rob it.
Wait, was
That-
it Rich Galati?
Yes.
Did the guy upset him with
Correct.
Okay, sorry.
Correct. It
Wait,
was your dad.
so he hit
Right.
the wrong store.
He hit the wrong
Backed
store,
into the wrong store.
and he gave his answer as he meant to hit the weed shop next door because he wanted to rob it.
So-
he wound up hitting.
My bad, right?
Instead, he wound up with like a lifetime supply of Claire's
It was
earrings.
a shoe repair business.
Yeah.
It's literally the one that he hit.
Shoe repair.
That's what he hit. He
Really?
hit that, and he backed up into that instead of the vape store dispensary right next to it. 25-year-old guy in Oklahoma City.
Oh, I was going to ask where it was. Okay, Oklahoma
go.
City.
How shitty of a driver do you have to be to miss a storefront?
Right.
Like,
Why would
maybe
he
you
go
don't need any
why
more
wouldn't he go
weed.
straight in?
No,
Right.
but maybe he doesn't need any more weed. Is all I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe
He's
his
had
judgment
enough.
is off already.
Have you guys noticed when you're driving? I feel like more and more now. I feel like because of, I guess, vaping with
Oh, the dust clouds that come out of it.
Yeah.
that, or you're just smelling it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
everywhere.
like at least once a day, you pull up somewhere, or you pull up behind someone, and you just okay.
Right.
Who's on the phone? We're trying to do a show here. This is crazy.
You're live on Cars and Comedy with Tom Brett and Rich Rada tonight. Who's on the line?
I have Tom's sister on.
Hey, Tom's sister.
What's up, Christine?
No, Christine's with me. I have her.
Are you Christine?
No, I'm Tommy.
Oh, hey, Tom.
I just called in before.
We were looking for Tom. Oh, wait. Did you play match game before?
What?
Are you having peas and sausage for dinner with a?
Yes, I am.
Almost
We
like
are.
that.
Yes,
It's
we
got
are.
the vodka sauce going on over there.
It's got to be.
You want a saucer or no?
Vodka, yes.
Sure.
You want a saucer?
Sure. What's up,
All
Christine?
right. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
This is Tommy, right? Or not Tommy?
While my sister's
Because he was
coming to the
confused before
phone,
we called.
we have Taz watching
I
tonight.
always thought your sister liked you.
I know. I thought so too. What's up, Christine?
Hello, there's chaos here. Don't mind us.
Hi, is this Tommy?
Sounds that way.
No,
Do you want to play match game for a free car wash, Christine?
I could use a free car.
All right. What about Tommy's shop? I think Tommy washes cars at his shop. He told me before.
His cars are
I
never
know, but
dirty.
he's
His cars are never.
He's
which
in
is
Riverhead.
never a
You don't
dirty
know
shame.
that.
What are you?
Oh my
Are you
God.
eating dinner?
What? No, he's making dinner, and Lori's helping, and we're just having fun watching,
And you're-
listening and watching.
And you're pranking my show.
I believe it's cocktail
Yes.
hour wherever they are.
It definitely is happy hour here.
Right.
Okay.
Sounds
Oh,
like-
hello.
Did you guys
All right.
knock over a weed dispensary before?
what happened?
They're like, "Oh, do you mind holding? I have another call coming in."
No, you better not put out Rich Galati is doing that either. He'll kill you.
Yeah. All right.
It's the news.
Anyway.
It's not us. It's the
Did,
news.
All right.
did you make cookies? Do you have the munchies?
No, not yet. No,
right.
not yet. That'll be later.
Save
But-
Tom a bowl of peas.
Yeah. Save me some peas. Save me some cookies.
Anyway, sorry.
I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for calling, Tommy.
Yeah.
Again.
All right.
Give Tommy our best.
So Sally, next week when I give out the phone number, can you
We'll like block that call.
can you block it out? Yeah. We'll post edit that call out. Sorry, Christine.
yeah.
So the phone number now is
Last names begin with a G. I'm not here.
Is it like a 2-minute dump button?
I know you there. I see you.
Didn't you say call and support the show? All right. So this guy backs into a weed dispensary. Sorry, my bad.
He
Meant to-
wanted to.
Right.
He missed.
He missed.
Sorry,
he hit
my
the shoe
bad.
repair business next door.
Knocked over the loafers.
But told the cops that he meant to hit the weed dispensary store because that's the one he wanted to rob.
By the way,
And he said to the cop, You know, what do you think he said to the guy? Sorry.
Hey man, listen,
Right.
I'll help you out.
I
man.
think you hit the wrong joint.
Why do you have to do
That's
like
good. That's a good
structural
answer.
damage? Why can't you just like ask for $20 at the register?
Yeah.
Right, or go in and just hold people up with a gun like regular
yeah,
robbers.
have some
Be
balls,
a
you
real
know?
man and
You're
just
right.
go in the store.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just
a wuss.
I would have liked to see though if the guy's car was still physically in the store. And he said, "Well, how do you know I did it?" The guy's like super high. Like, why are you blaming me?
Hey man, why?
that's not my car.
Right.
Okay.
So you just came out of it. Right. Did you guys
Thankfully,
ever,
nobody was hurt.
did you guys ever see the 911 call? I know if you go on YouTube, you'll see it, and it's hysterical. There was a couple that called 911 because they thought that they were dying from overdosing on weed, and basically you hear the 911 call, and they were so paranoid and they were so afraid that they were dying.
They'd be the first ones.
So they said, you have to send an ambulance. And they said, okay, what's the emergency? And they said, time is going by really, 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 really slow. It said like 9 times. So if you get a chance, don't do it now. Don't leave the show.
I'm
and
sure
do
that
it.
was pure stuff. It wasn't laced with anything.
Anything,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, yeah. That's like what was that movie Ted when he starts naming the different weeds? Yeah. Mind rape. This.
Any other stories, Brett?
No,
We only have a
that's
few
all we
minutes
have for
left.
now. Another game
So-
of another round of match game.
Yeah, so I have 12 more questions. Tommy,
Great.
if you want to call in, Tommy, we're going to play match game again.
Put down those peas, buddy.
Yes. The word is sausage blank.
Peas and blank.
Right.
So wait, Rich. So this might be a good time. We have a few minutes left. So last night you told me you're not a car guy. Today you told me you've owned 6 Mustangs.
Well, I know
there's a
I've owned
distinction.
cars, right?
What-
I'm not
so-
I'm not like a aficionado. if
Right.
you will,
So
but,
what type of Mustangs have you owned?
I had an 80. First one I ever
First
had
one.
was an 86 SVO.
Nice.
Yeah, and funny story. When I had it in like '88, they said, "Oh, this car will beat any car in a quarter mile, but the Corvette." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So a buddy of mine is in the car with me. We're in a parking lot. We're talking to these 2 young ladies that were like we knew,
Right.
And they get in and we're hanging out. All of a sudden, this gigantic dude pulls up next and starts banging on the car. And the girl that my friend was talking to, that was her gigantic boyfriend.
Really?
So he goes, they're like, do not open the door. He's gonna, and I'm like, well, I'll just take off.
Right.
And my buddy's like, oh my God, he's crazy. I go, don't worry, we'll be fine as long as he doesn't have a. And I turn, the guy's got a Corvette. I go, just get out of the car, you're dead. There's no point in all of us getting hurt. Just get out of the car, and take a beat. But he had the Corvette, so I was like, yeah, we're not beating him.
That's funny.
But
So-
that car was. It was weird. That was the year they had like the 4-cylinder
a
turbo,
4-cylinder
and
turbo,
it was
yeah.
not a fan of that. But
Right.
great story.
But the styling on that car was really cool. It had that double wing on the back.
Yep, it was cool, and that car met a untimely demise. I pulled into
Got struck by lightning?
I pulled into a deli. Pulled into a deli, went inside, and I
bird
come
who ate
walking out.
berries pooped on
I
it?
come walking outside, and I'm like, did I leave the light on in my car? I'm like, what's going on? And next thing you know, the entire dashboard is just up in flames. The whole inside of the car is on fire.
Really?
And I'll never forget, a guy pulled in next to me, and he had one of those Jeep Wranglers with the fire extinguishers on the roll
right,
bar.
on the roll bar,
And I go,
right.
dude, let me have one. He goes, $20. I go, you're going to charge me for the fire extinguisher? My car's on fire. Yeah. So I watched the inside of the car melt.
Really?
Yeah.
And
It
this
was-
douchebag with a fire
Yeah,
extinguisher
just
wouldn't help you?
and I'm like, well, all right. I said, I just wanted to really left my wallet in the glove box. I really like to get that right there.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was the first one I had the 86. I had the one that got hit by lightning was in 05 when they did the new body style, like it was like the newer body style.
Yeah.
It was a convertible 06.
Okay.
06. And that was the torch red when they got hit by lightning. That was a cool car.
I think the lesson is not to drive with Rich.
Yeah.
Right? I feel
Well,
like-
great story. The guy from the dealership comes out after the third day that I bring it in there, and I just would not admit to anything happening. I'm
Right.
like, something's wrong. You
weird.
gave me a lemon.
Right.
The guy comes out and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." He goes, "We think you got hit by lightning."
You're like,
I go, "What?" And I swear to God, this is what he said to me. He's like, was the car outside? I go, no, I keep it in the living room. What do you mean was the car outside? I'm like, is this guy? He actually asked me if the car was outside, but I wouldn't would not flinch. I'm like, and they kept coming
good.
out back then. Ford, when you brought a car in, they had to follow computer protocol. So if you brought it in for a part, they had to do that part, and then if that didn't work, the computer said to do the
So it
next
was
one.
a structured-
So they would come out
right.
like this, and they'd go, "You see this?" And it's roasted. And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "It's supposed to be this color." And they just kept coming out with one scorched part after another. I'm like, "Well, that's
Like,
peculiar."
that's weird. You're like,
So they
well,
did
the
the
car was
whole
outside. I don't know
car.
if you knew this. The car was outside, so maybe that.
I'm like, what, lightning?
Right.
What? I've never heard of such a
So
thing.
weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had the 06 convertible. I had the 10 convertible, and the 13 when they changed that body style, which I sold that to my girlfriend's brother. He's still got it. And then my son had 2, which was, he still has one. He has a 2012 GT, automatic GT actually, which was a tough find, but he's got that car. And we had a 20, we had an 06 when he first started driving. He had an 06, the Saline Shelby, like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
What a bust that car was.
Right.
Yeah, somebody kind of hit him again, and the mechanic said to me, just sell it.
Really?
Just get rid of it. I'll give you this for it. I go, done.
I had an 05 Celine, but mine was natural. Some of those cars were supercharged.
Yeah,
Mine was
yeah, yeah.
naturally aspirated, but that 05, 06 body style. for
Yeah,
the
it was
Celine
cool. It was a
really
good,
cool.
good looking car.
Yeah,
but
sharp
Yeah.
lines on it. Yeah.
Right, like they said, looked like Tarzan, but it ran like Jane. It's not a good car.
I have one more live read to do before we go, which is Hollywood Motors USA. And if you could pull up the other red car picture, Miss Sally, I'd really appreciate it.
Wait, they're not the same.
No, they're not the same. So everyone who could see the picture of the Porsche, you can tell me if I'm crazy or if Sally's crazy. But Sally's putting up a picture now of a 1980 Chevy Corvette, the only car that could beat a 1986 Mustang SVO.
Especially when the driver is shitting his pants because he's being chased by a gorilla man.
So the picture that Sally's putting up now, is that on behind us as well? Or you
No,
still have the Porsche? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Stand by. There it is.
Oh my God! It's the same car.
Practically the same car.
Yeah. Look, they're
Yeah, okay,
red.
so look at, this
There's
is
only
what
a
I get.
$95,000 difference between the two cars.
I get
Okay.
an email of this first car,
Right.
and then
You get this one.
I get
All right, I'll give it. They're similar looking.
this
They're
car.
both very shiny red.
They're not that similar looking.
All right, so
Well,
this.
that floor.
And I'm like, and Tom's like,
Right,
oh,
epoxy
I
on
sent
the
you a
floor.
couple of pictures of car. I'm like, no, you
you
keep
sent me
sending me
the
the
same
same
one,
red
idiot.
car.
Right. So this is a 1980 Chevy Corvette,
Oh, it was nice.
45,000 miles, so a low mile car, right? 4-speed T-tops and black interior. I think he has it up for like 20 grand.
What?
Beautiful car. You turn a lot of heads in that car. Actually, the video that he put up, he had Little Red Corvette playing by Prince in the background.
Why so
Of course,
cheap?
what else?
I think that's probably a good, fair price for that car.
Oh, they're like,
you know,
there's like body chalk lines in the back seat. Somebody got blown away in there.
it's a nice, clean car, and
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah, it's really sharp. I think red's the color for that car. You know, I think most Corvettes look great in red.
It gets the most tickets.
that
Yeah.
says the insurance guy, right? Yeah, so go to HollywoodMotorsUSA.com. Check out all of his inventory, but I saw this car and it really jumped out at me, literally and figuratively. It's really sharp, 4-speed car, which is really cool. Those cars
One
are fun to
owner,
drive.
she only drove it to church.
Very slowly and carefully.
She only drag raced Mustang SVOs on the Long
I mean,
Island
sure, she
Expressway.
hit a guy in a parking lot getting a vaccine, but that was it. Other than that,
She only backed into one vape store.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, though.
shoe repair.
I'm sorry, shoe repair. She meant to do the vape store.
So Mike DeLucia, Hollywood Motors USA, reach out to him. He has a great selection of cars, all reasonably priced. He buys cars too, and it's just funny. You look at his sold inventory; he's got a ton of cars on there. He goes through a lot of cars, a lot of great cars. So definitely reach out. He can help you find something too.
Does
if
he
you
have
remember
it?
something.
Does he? You know, a car I always want to get, but I always loved it. It's probably terrible, but the SSR.
Oh yeah,
Love that thing.
yeah.
In that ludicrous yellow looking color. I was like, I want one of those. Yeah. And they're not cheap. If you see them online, they're a fortune.
I think because they only had a limited run, and
Yeah.
there's
for a
not-
reason, I'm
not-
sure.
it's
But
not
I'm
a
like,
ton
I
of them
want
out there.
that. It's like a transformer.
Right, so
Is that a Mission Epoxy floor?
Bumblebee.
I don't. It's funny. I should
It
find
should
out.
be.
I don't know if
Looks
he
like
used it. Should be. If he didn't, he made a big mistake and he should have used
Is that a
Mission
vape
Epoxy.
store next door?
It is. Oh, you're right. No, it's a shoe repair store. You were right. You were right.
It used to be a shoe repair
Correct.
place.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for sharing this out. That's how we grow and that's how we get bigger. So we appreciate all of your support. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Rich Rada, for joining us today.
Hey,
Really
thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me. I'm glad we can get Sally a car wash.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to give out the code?
You want to give a
as
few
we
more
sign
out?
off? Yeah.
So the first 5 people right now, text Elwood, ELWOOD, to 844-518-0909. Again, text Elwood to 844-518-0909. Right now, free car wash. Personal Touch Car Wash will be supplying that for you. So thank you to them for being our sponsor. Elwood Car Wash.